All right. How's everybody doing? You know, we're going to just skip the intro music today and, we have a lot of announcements and a lot of things to talk about. Welcome to Geezy Truth News. It is January 27th, 2017. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot to talk about, and let me tell you, there's a lot of stuff to say. I hope everybody's doing well. Got a lot of announcements. My technical audio engineers right now are telling me there may be some difficulties throughout the show. We'll see how it goes. Slight chance. Excuse me, everybody. I'm very sorry for, being 2.5 hours late. Things have just caught up, and hopefully one of my audio engineers, tried to post an update, but I'm not sure what's going on. So anyway, the other thing I gotta say is, I really didn't do much research this since the last time we've done the show. And, I could remember little tidbits from what I can remember. But pretty much, it's an open discussion. I guess the phone lines are down, is what the technical audio engineers are still saying. That's still being worked on. But other than that, we can bring up the chat or the Skype. We're going to be, there's going to be a lot of work to be done. We're going to talk about all that later. But on the live chat, I believe you can, if people need to post something and say something, go ahead, or whatever the case. But anyway, it's been, I'll hold my regards, and as everybody else, nobody really knows what Donny Boy is going to do yet, but we do know what's going on so far. Lots of interesting things, a lot of mad people, a lot of happy people. There needs to be some discussion about what's gonna be going on, and we gotta keep on continuing to make America great again, continue to keep going down the path we're going, because we gotta do it. So I've been hearing and while we have the show, I'll see what I can do. I'll look at what's been going on, but pretty much Donny Boy, there's a lot of S talked behind Donny Boy's B, and it looks like he's pulling through everything they've been talking S about. Like, one of the first things that comes up is they were talking S about, once he became prez, they're like, oh, he's soft on immigration or whatever. And then the next day he signed, he signed the wall in, and he signed the, temporary hold on immigration. And, he's, or the little bit like that. And it's action, something that is different from other politicians. So whatever's been going on is a very interesting debate. So what else? I mean, pretty much, there's been a lot of talking S, really. The whole thing has just been, in that regard, it's just been like, okay, so Donny Boy, they're talking to us about Donny Boy. He fired a lot of the head of the people of the State Department, a lot of things, and it's really good. And people are complaining about it, like, oh, how is this, wow, people are going outrageous. But it's like, what is outrageous about it? These guys are all corrupt. What is the problem here? We're weeding out the ridiculousness, as was talked about the whole time. Draining the swamp. Gotta take out the corrupt people, put in the good people. And apparently, more than the past three presidents, apparently did not have that in mind. So, what's all that? Is a different something else. So that's in the nation. There's always stuff going on. You could always look at things, and it's like, there's a shooting here and there's that, and you could pull up anything you want to say. But we are going towards the right path, in securing the country and making it better and boosting the economy. People are complaining about the pipeline. What they don't understand is that there has to be some kind of boost. We have to keep going forward. The problem with the past few presidents is that not only have we been at like a standstill, but we've almost been going backwards. And that's why there was no really significant growth. And there's nothing to be happening, nothing to be talked about. I mean, at Obama's farewell speech, what could he say? What was the big thing? That he killed Osama? What was the hippity hoopah? So, there's no progress. Things weren't really, we spent $10 trillion over the past 8 years. What do you see? You see anything significant? Do you see like a Golden Mausoleum or some kind of symposium outside, or what? What's the hippity hop going on around here? So this is why, I understand. There's all valid points everywhere. The Keystone Pipeline, the people are going to be contaminated with water. So they say, who knows if that's the truth. Propaganda runs wild. But they're going to put the pipeline, and that's going to make hundreds of thousands of jobs, and that's going to be fantastic. More growth, it's like, come on. There's no sense in not doing it. Until we're going to talk about alternative energy. Which we will. People complaining, "Oh, this is horrible." It's like you can't flip like a switch. It takes a process. And the past presidents didn't give a damn about that process. With the whole Solera thing or whatever, that solar company that, what was it? I don't even want to know. It was like $1 billion. They lost $1 billion or something. And the CEO was like, no, I don't know where it happened, and then they got off scot-free or something. I mean, this is ridiculous. You look at your boys on Wall Street, and you look at these goofuses that Obama was hanging with, like all this, dealing with all this sneezy. I mean, come on. You gotta be ridiculous to even think about all that. So, it takes a moment. It takes a time. You know what I mean? You gotta create growth, and you gotta make something out of it. You can't make something out of nothing. And that's why you have to do this. While before, everything's stagnant, nothing really going on. People are complaining about jobs and all this, and 90 million people out of jobs, or whatever. They've been spoofing up the statistics or whatever. They say Obama lowered the unemployment, but I mean they changed the methodology numerous times during his terms, and it's all just a bunch of gibberish. Doesn't make no sense. Made it look like it was also decreasing and all that. So, and about the fake media, it's like, what can you even say about that? doesn't really matter what they say. You know, you'd think it goes away. Oh, speaking of that, people probably want to mention that as the his whole people were angry that he shut down the scientists or whatever. Well, these guys aren't real scientists. They were claiming climate change and all this bull sneezy, and they've spending billions of dollars and gaining billions of dollars and accounting to nothing. There's no end. And even if there was an end, even the whole climate change, the whole global warming hoax, if they wanted to decrease the temperature and increase it, you would have to put how ridiculous how hard that would be. And if you managed to even do that, it would be such a useless percentage, such a useless thing to do. It'd be just a complete waste of money, complete waste of time. And anybody who it's like it really is common sense. You can't change the sun. We don't have the planet. We can't harvest planets yet. We're not at that stage. So, but anyway, we will be right back. These couple of minutes of commercials. We're gonna check some couple things out, and stay tuned. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Well, I delved into some stuff, and always stuff is going on. So it's pretty crazy. So we'll go ahead and we're gonna do this quick. Phone lines are down. We're gonna say as much info as we can, and then we're gonna hit the hey. Stay tuned. Next time is gonna be next week is gonna be 6 p.m. as usual, and we're gonna try to be prompt on that. So thank you very much about that. But anyway, so again with the fake media, we're gonna go through a lot of randomness here, but it's very it's ridiculous, but good stuff to know. Another fake news thing. CNN cuts off congressman when he mentions WikiLeaks, and they shut him down. And of course, the CNN and this type of fake media who don't want to talk about anything, they don't want to talk about truth. They just want to talk about Barney and babies or something, Beanie Babies, and whatever they want to talk about is just gibberish. And here's just another example of thousands of just, they don't. A congressman mentions WikiLeaks and they say they cut him off. So there you go. Fake media, they're gonna go away. It's gonna be nice. So over Ron Paul, he's fighting the good fight. He's a great guy. And when he was running in 2008, whenever that was, that's when people should have woke up in America, because apparently he won. Apparently he was winning and he won, and there's just huge fraud and huge election fraud and all of that. So there you all go. And so, very important guy. Ron Paul is pretty amazing. He tried running for prez. Didn't make it, even though there's a lot of speculation that he did win. But, it was very played down and very hush-hush type of thing. And, people should have really cared about that. People really should have, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But anyway, so here's what Ron Paul is saying right now. Because, he's all about the truth, and he tried his best. He's a libertarian, trying to make the country great again, just like everybody else. That's a patriot. And cares about our own people. Ron Paul says that we should have, that he says a couple things, and he said this before, but it looks like he said it recently again, and this is what we all say, but Ron Paul is saying that we should have dismantled the Federal Reserve a long time ago. And that's great, because he's saying, if we don't dismantle the Federal Reserve, we are, quote, down a path of destruction and financial crisis, end quote. So he knows what he's talking about, and people should do their own research as he does his own, and everybody else. And it's just something else, And this other article, he says that the economic collapse is imminent, and that Trump will get the blame instead of the Fed. And this is true. This is what we all figured, that this is all that's going to happen. There's going to be a crash, and they're going to blame it on Donny Boy. It makes sense. Again, this is all speculation, but it makes a whole lot of sense. And they believe for it to happen. Obviously, it's the end of January now, so I don't think they're going to do like a beginning of the month thing, but I think middle of February or maybe March, but we're going to see, So, and then Ron Paul's son, he tried running, about that, with Donny Boy. And, they had a little scuffle or whatever. I mean, not really, everybody's a great guy. But anyway, he says only 8 senators have any idea how many covert wars the CIA is waging. So, he's Mr. Big Shot now, I guess, or whatever. But that's, he's trying to wag his tail, and he's a good guy. He's obviously not very powerful, not as powerful as Ron Paul, but Rand Paul is, he's doing his best too, I think. So I think that's good. Uh, so over in the, oh man, I don't even know where to begin with all this. I mean, so over in the industrial medical complex and the big pharma and all this, this is, it just keeps getting worse and worse, and that's what's going to happen. Saying, big pharma's synthetic cannabis pills are killing people. So there you have it. They illegalize marijuana, and they have a bunch of potheads in jails and prisons or whatever. They arrest all these drug addicts, whatever, whatever it is, these potheads. And over here in the pharmaceutical industry, there's making synthetic cannabis pills, and it's killing people. And yet, you don't hear any of this on the news, obviously, because they don't want you to hear any of this. You have to dig deep. It's like that one Matrix movie. Take the red pill or the blue pill. You got to figure something out here, guys. And then over on the, another little tidbit. It's pretty crazy. German biologist, I think, proves measles isn't a virus. And he wins Supreme Court case against doctor. Wow. I mean, this is just something. And apparently in all the scientific results, papers, research papers, and all that, there's no evidence, conclusive evidence, of the measles virus. So again, it makes you wonder, what were they sticking you with? And what is all that? What is that? How does that... Measles virus does not exist. Like, really? How crazy is this? How crazy is that? So, and then, I guess I might as well mention this. I mean, I guess this whole Women's March thing that happened, there's a lot of bad things that happened, I guess, during that whole thing. Like them, attacking each other or something, and them saying outrageous, wild things. I guess this woman, kidnapped and raped a man to death. And she said, quote, he was a homo anyway, end quote. So, I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't know what to tell you there. I mean, and there's other incidents too, but I don't feel really like delving into all of it. I mean, I'm sure you guys all know, do your own research. It's really something. And then, the last little tidbit that I wanted to mention was over in the European side. Oh, by the way, looks like Donny Boy and Theresa May are getting along. So, they're going to have some much there, or, see some kind of deals we can make with the British. But it doesn't, over in the British Isles, over in England, it doesn't look so hippity hap. Apparently over here, this article says the British government colluded with Monsanto and did some trippy stuff, just horrible stuff, They don't get FDA approval and send this poison to their kids or something. You get to buy them and eat them. It's crazy. So, plenty of discussion. Plenty of discussion. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're going to make this show short here. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. And thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. I think we got what we got done is what we got done. And so, let me tell you guys, we are. You gotta be a patriot. You gotta be the best you can be and do what you gotta do. Whatever your what's the word? Your thing is, like your I don't know, like motivation. That's not the word I mean, but you know what I mean. So, bottom line is, we gotta keep studying and keep researching and help out Donnie Boy, and we gotta make this country great again. Gotta keep doing what we can. It's time to skyrocket back to the top. You know what I mean? It's time to skyrocket back to the top. Because we've been kind of going downhill or something like that, and that's not good. And it's like people on our own side have just been not like being, maybe not on purpose, maybe incompetent or unfortunate, whatever the case. We got to do what we got to do. And so, just want to say thank you very much, everybody. Sorry for being a little bit late for those viewers that like to catch the live show. The phone lines are down anyway, but we'll try to fix everything. Audio engineers are saying that, we're gonna get a lot of stuff done. The technical engineers are saying they're gonna fix a lot of stuff. So check it out. Thank you very much, everybody. Geezy Truth News is out!